Hey everybody, welcome to Big Valley Living. I'm JJ and I'm here to discuss uh, being a caregiver when your loved one or a friend is diagnosed with cancer and you have to take on a new role as a friend of a friend that has cancer or a caregiver for somebody who has cancer. But it's it's definitely a role change. Your life is going to change. Uh, that's that I can promise you. So I have about six, eight. Well, I guess it's about 8 or 10 um, spots that I want to bring to you to say, hey, this, you're really going to have to do this. If you have children, that makes it a lot more difficult and a lot different. Maybe not difficult, but different than what Michelle and I have experienced. But you'll still be the caregiver either way. The first thing is stay positive. It's really hard sometimes when you've been given a gut punch of diagnosis and now you don't know what the heck to expect. So the first thing I will tell you is to be as positive as you can. And it's not always easy. It's very hard sometimes to find the positive in things. But remember, we all only have today. Yesterday's gone and tomorrow's not here. So we all have today. So be positive. There is so much that can be helpful for somebody that's uh, going through treatment, or they just had a surgery. Be looking forward. Um, that's one way to help to be positive. They're about thinking about tomorrow and hey, what are we going to do and how are we going to get through that. The second thing I would say is to learn to listen. And I'm not talking like we normally listen. We normally listen to respond to whatever we're listening to. I'm talking to listen and understand and not try to come up with a response. Just understand what you're being told. Um, you know, your your loved ones are going to have worries. They may have pain. They may have all kinds of things, but you have to listen to be able to understand what they're going through and the things that you can do to help them so that it's not such a overwhelming thing that they're enduring or that both of you are enduring, because you're both going through this. And you're going to have a medical team and you're going to have all of these folks you have to work with. And it's really good to get listening skills and to not try to respond, but take in and understand exactly what you're hearing. Number three, I would say um, knowledge is power. Learn everything you can about whatever the ailment, whatever issue that you're all going through is. Find out everything you can about it. For us, it was colon cancer. Had to find out everything about it. What does it mean? What are the typical things that happen? What are typical treatments? How long are we looking at? What are things that, all of those questions that really, in the long run, you're really going to have a better knowledge about what doctors are trying to talk to you about, and different treatments they may be thinking about doing. Um, that's a really important one, is to understand as much as you can, ask questions, advocate for your for me it's my spouse. Advocate for them and understand what the medical folks are asking you to do and what you need to do. Okay, that's really important. The fourth thing is be open and openly talk with your medical team. You're going to, like for us, we have a surgeon, we have an oncologist, we have our family physician, and they are all our medical team. They all work together. They all, I will say, they try to make sure that the others all know what's going on at the same time. That doesn't always happen, but since you're a part of that medical team, you can make it so that your family physician, the surgeon, the oncologist, they're all on the same page for any appointment that you went to go see any of the three. So that's really important. You need to discuss any issues that have come up. Um, maybe your loved one doesn't remember that they had horrible leg cramps, or they had this or that or the other thing. So you're there to basically take notes, make sure that things that do go on get remembered and get brought to the medical team. And understand, it kind of goes back to the last thing I talked about. Understand um, things about it so that when the medical team's talking about it, you're an active participant, and you can really be a part of it, because you're a big part of it. Being a caregiver, you're a big part of that medical team. The fifth thing, it's all right to shed some tears. Believe me, I've shed plenty, and because the fear of the unknown is a really overwhelming thing, and good or bad news, it gets overwhelming at times. If you have kids, if all of that kind of stuff, it's okay to shed tears, and give yourself that luxury, and you can break down. It's okay. The sixth thing I would say is uh, you should both go to therapy. You're both going through the same thing, and you're going through different things. I don't know if that makes sense, but you are, and you need to have a place to be able to air grievances. You need to be able to discuss issues that either one of you have had, any changes. I can say that at one point, when Michelle went through chemotherapy the first time, um, her, it's not necessarily mood, but her demeanor was, she just was totally different. It was kind of like a veil just went right over the front of her face, and she did not care. And so therapy, thank goodness, helped us get through that, because therapy will give you some tools to use, some little bit of homework to do, things that can really help you get through this, because it is a demanding time. Some folks lose marriages over this. We came very close at one point, and therapy is helpful, and that would be my suggestion. Make sure that you have them as part of your medical team, where you can discuss pretty much anything that you want. Make sure that, just like with the surgeon or the oncologist, make sure that they're folks that you can work with, and that you are comfortable with, because you're going to be in this with them for a long haul, and it is gratifying. It's overwhelming. It's all of those things all bundled into one, and therapy is definitely something that you should do. Remember that caregiver, a bore out caregiver, we'll just call it that. Um, Caregiver just is out of it. I have absolutely been so exhausted that I just couldn't do it anymore. And at that point, then what do? You're spent. You need to have time for you as well. If you like to go play golf, you need to go hit a bucket of balls with your buddy. You need to go play a round of 18. And if somebody needs to be there, then there needs to be a friend that steps up, and because you're going to need help. Any caregiver does. That we don't do this all on our own, and we have some wonderful friends that have helped us. And just remember, remember, make time for you. Go fishing, relax, just, be with your friends and just kind of let a little bit of the pressure, because it becomes a pressure cooker, and you definitely don't want it to, get too out of control where you are just bombarded all of the time. So there has to be a it's kind of a work life balance, right? You have work, and then you have your caregiver things, and then you have balance that you try to do and juggle all of those things. But that's you need your time too. And try to keep your life as normal as you can. If you went out to dinner every Friday night before this, well, it might not be every Friday night, but you know, maybe one night during the week or whatever, um, your significant other might be filling up to it or whatever, and go out and have that dinner, and go out and try to keep things as normal as you can. It's never going to be normal ever again, but try to keep your life normal. Um, it's a new normal, but try to do things that you used to do. If you used to go on a walk, go on a walk. Um, there's some instances when it's like, well, we're not going to be able to go for a walk right now, but um, we'll go for a walk when we can. And that's just how it needs to be. You need to keep things as normal as possible. And one more thing, this is, I guess, number 9. Number 9 is so for Michelle, she had colon cancer. So sometimes things don't work out how we want them to. And make sure that whoever you're caring for, that their dignity is always in place. Always. There's no worse thing than having your dignity ripped out from under you. So make sure that they always have dignity. If they're in the restroom and the door's closed, hey, do you need help? No, I'm okay. Then just leave it alone. Don't go barging in there, to clean something up or whatever. If they need help, they'll let you know. But dignity, let them keep their dignity. And the last thing for a caregiver is, when you need help, you need to ask for it. You need to accept it if somebody offers it. Folks want to help. They get kind of wiggy about, oh, she has cancer or whatever. But you know what? She's still the same person I married in 1995. So um, when friends offer to help, or is there anything that they can do to help, excuse me, anything they can do to help, say, oh, heck, I could really use some help, pulling weeds in the garden or whatever. But, you know, and set up a date, and friends will do that. That's why they're your friends. But always accept and ask for help when you need it, because friends and family, they don't necessarily know. And one bonus here, if you're a friend of someone who has, for us it's cancer, um, make specific, obligate yourself specifically. Hey, I'd love to make you dinner on Tuesday. Hey, what would you like me to make you for dinner on Tuesday? Um, I'm going to make you dinner on Wednesday. What would you like? Specific days. Hey, if they have kids and they're your friend, hey, I'd like to take the kids out for ice cream on Wednesday, and give them a little break away from the kids, or not making dinner. Those are huge things. It's just one thing off of the plate, and it's so helpful. It's really so helpful. Um, but make it specific. Not, oh, well, let me know if you need anything. They'll never ask, which kind of goes back to the last one, when, you need to ask for help if you are overwhelmed. But those are pretty much my tips. The things that you gotta really focus on: being positive and listening and understanding everything about whatever the diagnosis is, just everything you can, because knowledge will help. And I hope you find something in this video that's helpful. These are things that over the past 6 years, well, coming up on 6 years, that I've experienced and thought that it would be really helpful for you. If you found something helpful, if you'd like and subscribe, that would be great. We'll be putting out more of these videos of our journey, our cancer, really, it's our cancer journey. Other than that, see you later, everybody, and be kind.